Hi, my name is Dr. Mark. Today we are going to discuss a simple carving of CEREC Crown number 3. I'm taking a lead pencil to outline sprue connection for easy to remove it without guessing, since the sprue would be covered in the dust. This is just a small clinical tip you can incorporate in your routine CEREC workflow. I'm using greenstone. Speed is 10,000 RPM. I'm removing the sprue in a slow motion in the meso-distal direction without touching crown margin. When I removed almost 90% of it, I'm trying to switch the coarse polishing wheel, as you can see on the screen. You can take this polishing coarse wheel from any lab kit. Is it going to be Emax or zirconia? Again, in slow motion, 10,000 RPM, I'm trying to remove the remaining sprue. You can see how the outline slowly disappears. So I'm looking at 360 degrees to make sure I remove completely sprue. So when I'm happy with the results, my next step would be to outline the occlusal anatomy. Since we know that the thinnest diamond bore cannot reproduce occlusal details, so I'm trying to create a space between the buccal cusps for mandibular working cusps. Now I'm trying to outline occlusal table. Try to hold your pencil almost 90 degrees perpendicular to that outline. So while we're doing this, I want to make sure my cusp thin enough, not bulky, so the patient will not squeeze and create dysfunction. So now I'm taking the same coarse polishing wheel to create the occlusal plane. And you can see I slowly thin the buccal cusps, and at the same time I'm trying to create occlusal embrasures. So make sure so we have a nice interproximal contact, and the patient can easily floss. You can see right now that I'm trying to create interproximal occlusal embrasure. Again, take your time, use the polishing wheel, look at your crown, again 360 degrees, so make sure you're happy with occlusal plane. So when I'm done the procedure, now I'm taking a pointy carving diamond bore to create a secondary anatomy. I'm starting with the buccal cusp, and grooves. Holding the board, as you can see, at 45 degrees. You see, besides the occlusal planes, we also have to create the buccal planes, also in three-dimensional, 3 planes. You see that I'm holding it? Now I'm trying to carve the buccal cusps at the same direction and trying to create the same 3 planes of each individual cusp. Again, look your restoration, rotate it in your hands, okay, so make sure you create a nice occlusal anatomy, not just the crown looking like a temporary crown. So now I outline a secondary anatomy, again using the same pencil. I'm taking my time. The software and the milling board already outlined the anatomy, you just have to enhance it. So try not to create straight lines. The nature doesn't like straight lines. So wiggle your crown, wiggle your burr, okay? Create the illusion. And when you carve your anatomy, you also create a space for your stain and glaze. So when you put a stain and that grows, the stain will stay in that place and will gives a beautiful illusion. Okay, it will not run on the occlusal table. You can see right now it's I'm creating the palatal occlusal anatomy. Use again dust remover, or you can use alcohol, gauze with alcohol, just to clean up the occlusal surface. But look at your restoration from different angles and try to probably recreate and define the anatomy. So now I'm trying to carve just the buccal cusps. Again, in the same motion, try to make sure it's not a straight line. Occlusal grooves. So make sure again I outline every single groove as possible, so to give the skin the illusion that it's natural crown. Sometimes when we mill the crown, it doesn't look nice, like it looks like a temporary crown. So I want to make sure I can give the illusion it looks like a natural tooth. In this particular case, I'm using 330 carbide bore. I like this in a small grooves. It gives me just enough to control the groove on a distal. And again, I'm not going deep enough. I probably should go a little bit more deeper. But again, it's very hard to make the video and at the same time concentrate on carving. Again, just give enough 45 degrees, so make sure you have enough grooves. Okay, so when you stain, the stain will define in the groove and gives you a more natural look appearance. And you will see it in on my second video, the staining and glazing. So also outlining its additional carabelli cusps. Again, use 330 board. It's very easy to outline. But again, it's try to define the same groove on the buckle when I started my carving. So now we're going to switch to a straight hand piece, and you can use like a tapered diamond to give again more illusion. That's the cusp separated and the look natural. Again, look from different directions. Again, with the same diamond bore, I'll try to minimize thickness of the cusp, so it will define, so the cusp foster there will be no interference there. And see this again, I'm looking from a different angle to see do I have enough occlusal anatomy. So here we're outlining our occlusal lingual groove. Again, I'm almost happy how it looks so far. And again, so if you want to see a little bit more details, you can use like a sandblasting and clean up. So my last stage is what I do. I use a gray rubber wheel to remove any scratches. Okay, to find my anatomy. So make sure it's polished well before I start sandblasting, and then I'll put it in oven, or I want to do a staining glaze. In this particular case, I did put in oven first before I start doing staining and glazing, so it'll make sure it's easy for you to understand where I apply and why I apply those particular stains. So it's my last step. Again, I'm taking just polishing wheels, and make sure it's in an occlusal surface. I'll also remove any scratches. My advice to you is when you mill, okay, try to sandblast, because what happens to you is there's oil inside the machine, and when it mills, it stays on the crown, on the restoration, and then it gives a little bit problem with the staining and glazing, and sometimes also with the cementation, because the oil is still there. So try to clean the crown from the inside outside with sandblasting, and use, again, that's what I use right now, goes with alcohol, so make sure you keep the area clean and you're happy with the carving. So I'll see you next time for a second part of the video, staining and glazing.